Thank you. In accordance with the requirement of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting of the Public Access Cable Committee is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Bloomberg Access YouTube after the meeting. This meeting is being held in person at the location provided in this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with a particular interest in any specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person rather than virtual attendance accordingly. Zoom meeting information is in the notice. The agenda lists all the topics which may be discussed at the meeting and are those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by the open meeting. Hello. As we're physically here, we can do a roll call. Paul, are you here?
Yes,
Peter, you here?
I am here.
Amazing. Steve? how
Yes.
about you? And Faith, just in
Here.
time.
Yes,
I am also here, which is all members of the committee, and Joe is with us. Could I ask a question outside the context of the meeting?
It's McLaughlin toll.
Oh, really?
Well, it's gonna be just toll.
But for the moment, it's
At the moment, it's McLaughlin toll.
Okay, I just wanted.
Right now.
McLaughlin toll, yeah.
Hyphenated.
Not hyphenated, just, I'll be changing it
Yeah.
soon, so it'll be just toll.
Meant to clarify that before we start.
Okay,
Very complicated. Isn't that kind of a lot of red tape to do that?
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot.
And my daughter, yeah, same thing, she's kind of complicated. You know, hyphenated, well, yeah. And congratulations, man.
yes,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you.
I saw the picture that he put up and it was, you look very pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This was very nice.
Yeah,
Great.
So, are there any public comments? Seeing no members of the public present, one assumes not. Any committee comments? I have three. I went to a conference which Joe very unreasonably chose not to go to because the wedding was the next day.
Don't put that in there.
Had things to do, apparently. And there were a couple of things that were particularly interesting. One was a presentation given by two people. One was a Pacc that had converted from being a 501c3 to becoming a municipal department. And then there was the other one. And the other one, which was very interesting because of the deep holes they got stuck in while they were trying to do it, was to become from a municipal department to a 501c3. I talked to that guy, he's from Shrewsbury, afterwards, and I actually have a copy of his presentation. They got into so much trouble trying to do this. The very last page is my favorite, is without being able to read what it says, this is a list of the pros, and this is a list of the cons of going from the municipal department to a private.
what are the cons? Just, there's only a few, but I can't.
The
read.
cons, well, he went into a lot of detail. There are a whole bunch of ethics laws. For instance, because he was working for the municipal department, and he was working on creating the 501c3, which would be a contract to the municipal department. You're not allowed to do that except as an exception in certain circumstances. Things like pension implications, added operating expenses, which we discussed before, like IT, utilities, internet maintenance, accounting, HR benefits, and the difficulty of providing benefits that would be at an equivalent level to one municipality was. So happy to share it if people would like. The other thing, I spoke briefly to the guy from a company called Castus and asked him about closed captioning just to get a snapshot. This is from Castus, so it's specifically their view of it. The hardware software solution runs in real time costs, he said, $70,000 to $80,000. Plus, this was a surprise to me, $7,000 to $8,000 a year in maintenance fees. The Castus still real time, about a 3-second delay. Runs to $7 an hour. Does that sound right to you?
No,
So
I
that's-
have the details. I didn't know we were gonna talk about that.
Neither did I.
I have some of the details at home because I did talk extensively to them
Okay.
about it. But the overall, the major changes, you have to expand your services to allow
Yeah.
for. So
He's-
you have to get video on demand, you have to get,
Oh, that's right.
You have to
He
get-
didn't mention.
well, that's what, yeah,
So what he said was for 100 hours of real-time closed captioning would be about $7,000. So I'm just trying to give you an overall picture. Because I was wondering if our request for ARPA funding, where that stands, maybe you have input on that, whether we should have done something on closed captioning. Anyway,
well, they
Yeah.
didn't want reoccurring costs,
that's why I wanted
For-
the cost of a purchased one.
right?
You would still have the service. It was certainly a weird place. Has anyone ever been to the Wolf Village?
Great Wolf Lodge.
I was not when it turned to that, but before that one is a hotel.
Oh, no, this is sheer lunacy at the moment. Say nothing of the parking. So it's got so much equipment in there. So, committee comments, communications, anybody have communications? Hearing none. Other than fact, I guess one communication is Steve, Paul and myself were all reappointed and have duly appeared before the clerk. Correct pronunciation of clerk. To be
Were
sworn.
you on schedule?
I didn't say that. She said that.
I'm still blaming you.
Yeah. He taught it to
He
me.
did.
So, as of this moment, the committee is constituted of the 5 of us. And there is any moment now, we're going to be a committee nomination. But before we do that, could we please review and approve the meeting minutes? Wow. So moved.
Second.
What did we vote on? I'm sorry.
Minutes.
Oh, the minutes, yes.
With amendments.
What can you remind us of the amendment one?
I have to spell Sedona correct. And did anyone get a version that says future meeting date is June 10th?
Yeah.
Yeah, that has to be
Is that
corrected to
That's
July.
incorrect.
Yeah.
So, having a motion on the second, is there any Discussion, further commentary.
Just once again, this is a great job, Steve. This is perfect minutes.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
That's because no one else wants to do it.
No,
No,
because
That's
you
why
do
you're
a good job.
chairperson. Because no one else wants to do it.
Yeah. No, but we
I
don't
know how
have
to
to
do it.
correct typos and stuff like that.
You do.
And two of them, right? His name.
Oh,
wait a minute.
That's true.
So, hearing none. We can actually all be in present. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, I guess. Now, the next item on the agenda confuses the hell out of me, so Pacc. EAAC. okay. Pacc committee nomination and voting.
Oh, yeah, it should be PACC.
It should.
Wow.
That was not much I was paying attention.
Yeah, and you-
For chair, vice
Both happy
chair,
things.
and secretary.
When Aaron and I started, the first ones on this committee, we decided to call it Pacc, because Pac-Man is a cute thing.
Yeah,
Probably cute.
yeah,
There are other Paccs around, it's not just us.
It wasn't them.
Plymouth
Here too.
Public Access is Pacc, Plymouth
PPA.
Access.
Well, I'll amend the minutes too, because probably minutes. No.
So anyone have any suggestions?
We can-
Manage this?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the bylaws guy, you're the.
Well, what we can have is Pete and Faith. Nominate the three of us. Then you can do it as one vote that way, or you could have. Paul nominate. The chair, you know what I mean, and then do three different votes. So, the big question is, are you willing to be chair?
I am willing to be there.
Is anyone else interested in being chair? Okay, are you willing to be the assistant chair?
No, that's,
Because that's what you are now.
yes.
Okay, who is interested in being, someone who needs to be assistant chair? Yeah, I'll change that.
Vice chair.
Steve, that's the chair.
I took a turn and I only, as assistant chair and all I did
Or
was,
vice chair.
oh, vice chair, all I did was, run a couple meetings when
Right.
you couldn't be there.
And Steve gave you the instructions about how to go about doing that, that's basically.
That was before this.
That was before the script, yeah.
Would you be interested in being? vice
I
chair?
would be happy to do that again if no one else wants
Vice
to.
chair is in the senior center called padding your obituary.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I don't like that.
nice.
That's why I don't want to be in it.
Okay, all right.
Oh, I'm fine.
I was the
being
hospital
secretary
Oh,
in
I'm
charge
sorry.
of.
Somebody should ask Steve.
Yes.
I'm fine. with
Are you willing to serve as our secretary?
So what you can do if you want is,
I can nominate
Well-
everybody, right?
The slate.
Yeah.
if you want.
no, because you're gonna be
Oh.
running.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to
So-
nominate Mr. Steve Walker as our chairperson, Ms. Faith Beal as our vice chairperson, and Mr. Stephen Archibald as our secretary.
There's the motion.
And the
So,
second is-
yep,
is
so we can do all in favor, Steve as chair,
Aye.
all in favor as Faith as vice. All in
Aye.
favor of me as secretary. So,
Exactly, thanks now.
And these are.
I think we have to do it 3 times, that way there was a forum of people.
We're trying to stay within the spirit of what was supposed to.
And these are one-year appointments until we.
They are.
And then in July we do it.
Yeah.
Every July.
Should July next year.
Yeah. 2024, Olympics.
It is.
You're gonna be covering the Olympics? You're gonna send someone over?
Yeah.
I'll be going myself,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, let's find a way.
It's in the budget. It's in the budget.
Yeah.
Live stream from Paris.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't that be nice? huh?
Well, I hope Paris is settled down next year.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, as long as it's not on fire.
that's true.
Right.
Okay,
Indeed unlikely.
Yeah.
so I'll have to change the form and all that.
So.
Do I have, is it on the website that way?
The website does have it on, but I think Joe changes the website.
I can change that.
Could you do that for me?
Yeah.
Oh, you're awesome.
For things like this, notice of meetings. not changing.
Which website change? Agenda.
So I believe we. all did what we
In
needed to do.
letterhead, who's saying, are you in charge of
Who
changing the
does
letterhead?
the letterhead? I will change this form. Is this the letterhead?
Oh,
We don't have a letter.
okay, so this was what I was mistaking as
I will
letterhead.
change that because that's the agenda. I
Right,
have
this
to
is
correct the agenda.
notice of meeting.
And I don't have the minutes with me, I printed them home and left them there, so that has no emblem or anything on it.
No.
It's just.
I don't. put the agenda. Okay. Save paper.
It's sort of a template.
Actually, the Zoom number never changed.
But there are three of them, I think, altogether, so we're lucky if that's what happens.
It just never changes. Like she
Yeah.
just puts us in.
No, I think it's a meeting room or something, with
Yeah.
a town. Something like that.
But we have it at this time. And no one
Excellent.
else does.
Good for us.
So that's why it's the same number. Anyway, keep
Anyway,
going.
back
there,
to the- if we may ask the newly elevated manager. Pacc, the delightful. Maren, Croftley,
So,
Toll, there you
You
are.
are
Our
what's
Paris
moving.
representative.
I got so close.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Paris correspondent.
Yeah.
There's now toll charge.
Ooh la la, no,
Oh,
I make a good cookie. All right, this is Joe McLaughlin Walsh. Oh my God, that was my last married name.
Ooh,
What'd you say?
you'll delete that.
we want, yeah, I hope, yeah.
Joe McLaughlin
Jeez,
Toll
I want
here. Speaking. Don't have a lot to report. I was out for a lot of days in June, but the books, the financials are not closed for FY '23 yet. There will be a balance change to what we have right now on your report. The ending balance,
983, 682, 86.
yes, 983, 682, 26.
Does that mean,
That does not include June interest, or there's also a bill, I think it's 2 bills are being
okay,
processed.
but we did get the Comcast one that was missing.
Yes,
Okay.
I had to add the April interest in. Because that wasn't on there, and I had to add the May interest in and the May payment from Comcast. Some great news, if you. I know this isn't in color, so it's a little bit tough to tell, but after the financial reports comes the program analysis. And I have the June 2023 is the first one. I put the June 2022 after that. But we did great this year. Last year we had in FY '22, we had 63% local programming and 82 programs in total. And in FY '23, we had 72% local programming and 109 programs. So we increased our programs by 27. We increased our informational category and our sports category.
Good.
So,
Well,
yeah, so
thank
it's
you.
almost 10% increase over last year. Yeah, that was good. We recorded the open meeting law workshop on June 22nd. We recorded the one that was at Town Hall at 1 o'clock for employees, and we recorded the one at 6 p.m. at the Eagle House for committee members. I have both of those.
What?
Heather requested that I record both meetings, even though they were
What's the
the
I
second
think the
meeting?
query is.
same presentation.
But we weren't,
Yeah, community members were told.
yeah, were
Never
we
thought.
informed? I would have been there.
I didn't hear it. Didn't you?
I
It's
don't
not your
know.
responsibility.
Yeah.
but obviously the town
No, I
meeting
know.
was they were having
I don't know
open
what happened, but we will have the link. I put it on YouTube unlisted. And I have to find out from Heather which
Oh,
meeting
which
she
one,
wants
yeah.
circulated. And then there'll be a link to that for people to watch.
Okay.
Was
Just,
there a lot of people there?
The one at the Eagle House,
Yeah.
I think there was probably a handful of people.
Because I don't think the council on aging was notified either.
Yeah,
I'd have to ask Heather one.
yeah.
I'd have to find out.
if that's supposed to achieve some kind of milestone for the town, I suspect it's gonna have to be done again.
Yeah. Well, is it in lieu of having to do the test on the,
Conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest was part of it.
I
okay,
mean, it's covered under it, but
yeah,
you have to do that, that's a separate, thing.
that's a separate.
And
thing.
how often are we supposed to do that?
Every 2 years.
Yeah,
Go
the-
2 years.
We'll be told next
We'll
year.
be told to do it,
I still haven't.
certain, I know.
You don't have to, the new version, you go online, it automatically sends it. And the new version, you can pause it and finish it the next day. But
Keep
that's
going.
what I was
we get
told,
the
I
answers
haven't
wrong.
done it yet. But you
get
still
that right.
can
You can look at
keep
the answer.
answering A, B, C, D, and then move on to the next, A, B, C, D. and move on to that.
Isn't it heavy on the seas, isn't that what they say?
Anyway, I haven't done mine yet.
These combos, the idiot tests.
No, we're not good enough to do.
That's right. So we should-
We recorded the master plan kickoff meeting that was out of our ordinary meeting schedule. Eric, the production technician, is currently clearing out all of our old equipment, and inventory will be to follow with that. I entered the purchase requisitions for FY 24. Which will be converted to POs for things like Castus. You know, office supplies and that sort. We will be backing up the Castus FY 23 video files within the next couple of weeks, hopefully by the end of the week, FY 23. So those will go on our backup drive and we'll start anew. Met with the lawyer. He seemed to think there's no reason to have a waiver for employees using their own equipment. He said, really, it's not, he didn't say dangerous, but he used the example of a private person using their own chainsaw to clear land on conservation property. The chances of something going haywire there are pretty high
Yeah.
and very dangerous. He
That's
said,
That's the same thing with the lithium battery.
Mm,
So, but you know, I'm just.
true. So he didn't seem to think there was much danger of a videographer using their own equipment.
But that's not what I thought it was about. I thought it was about if something happened to a person's personal equipment, then they wouldn't have recourse against us to replace it. That's what I thought. It was more of a liability issue, not
Right.
danger or anything like that. It's like, you don't want your budget to have to replace somebody's camera or.
Right.
I
Right,
still
then
think we should do it.
we should, I mean, he said it wouldn't do any harm to have a waiver.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So typical lawyerly of him. He gave you both.
Right,
pros
Don't need
and
it, but
cons.
maybe you should have it.
Yeah. I think we should have it,
At $180 for 15 minutes.
yeah. Thank you for checking with him.
you're welcome.
Yes. So you want to do a waiver?
Yeah.
Should we,
I
do we
make a
need
motion.
to, they have a motion for that?
Yeah.
Or adopt it as a policy of?
Yeah.
Of that?
I thought we already adopted it last meeting, but maybe
I think we drafted one and wanted to be a planning.
I thought that you had
Understand.
drafted a policy and then
We, yes, all of the above. I mean, I think I started and then when you did some wordsmithing at a meeting, we agreed on the language, we passed it, maybe we ended up saying pending,
pending,
discussion
legal.
with legal.
Yeah, that's what I thought happened, and, yeah,
I think that's the progression of.
yeah.
Yeah, there's policy review.
Did you have that with you, Joe, or this was verbal?
It was verbal.
Okay.
But, you know, while we're sort of on the same topic. Is there liability insurance? So, for instance, does the Conservation Commission have liability insurance if someone takes their chainsaw or someone else's chainsaw and gets injured? Doing volunteer work for the town? Is there insurance? If someone were doing some work with their equipment or Pacc's equipment and a lithium battery caught on fire and exploded, I don't know how likely that would be, but is there liability insurance for that?
I think the town carries liability.
The town carries it for the equipment.
Well, it also, because if you don't swear in after you're appointed, you're not covered by the town's liability insurance.
Okay,
So we're all covered as committees,
okay.
but we're also
So
sort of
some irate
employees
person
as
came
well.
in, puts this in the nose or
We're
something.
sort of employees as well. Unpaid, unbenefited.
Mhm.
Personal use policy update from the last minutes meetings.
Mhm.
It said it was approved at our April 10th meeting,
Mhm.
and that the policy is PAC requires its employees and volunteers to use PAC equipment for PAC assignments. Exceptions to this can be made with prior managerial approval, provided the individual signs, a waiver, relieving PAC of all liability.
Well, good for us.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so we just
okay,
need a
then it
waiver.
says, Steve will send it to Heather and ask for town council review. Well,
Okay,
you
But
already,
we adopted the policy.
yeah, we did
Pending
adopt
town
it.
council.
Yeah,
pending, okay, so we have it.
yeah,
I guess the final question would be. Would you? Proactively ask people who work for you to sign it, or just wait until as needed? I would say more waiting until as needed.
As needed, yeah. I have one videographer that likes to use his own equipment.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's necessary if he can't get to
Yeah.
the studio to get a camera or something.
well,
So-
then that's why if you can't get to the studio, it's better to have a waiver already on record. So in events like that, he couldn't come and sign a waiver and then go do what he has to do. I don't think we should do it that way. I think we should have a waiver in everybody's, a file of waivers.
Mhm.
And then when they have to use their own equipment, for example, if they're on an assignment and something doesn't work and they use their own equipment, they didn't foresee that. There are
Mhm.
some things that are unforeseen, so we need to have the liability in place.
But the attorney said he'd do one.
He didn't say he would do it.
I thought he did. Wasn't that his trick that?
Well, I
The
think,
attorney sounded as if he was confused about like bodily injury. Or
Yeah,
something like
right.
that, like danger, not,
It's-
dropping a camera down the
it
stairs.
seems to me that all we need to do is print the motion we approved, and have them sign that I have read, and this liability agreement, and I read and understood this agreement, and just sign.
I'm sure I can find a liability waiver
Yeah.
online
Yeah,
that
you probably can,
outlines that.
but at
Why
least
don't you give it a go? See what
because you have them sign other things, I know.
Yes.
As videographers, so.
And if you wanna play it out a little bit, like, if I were a videographer and. I had my own equipment and I was asked to sign a waiver and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna sign it,
Yeah,
and they don't use it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna allow my, some little kid to come crashing into the tripod, and knock my camera on the ground. and look at that.
yeah.
So, either way,
Mhm.
worst case is that, something doesn't get recorded because they were not.
Mhm.
Best case is people agree to accept responsibility for their equipment if they were doing it
Mhm,
privately or voluntarily.
mhm.
So we're all on the same page.
Sounds
including
like it.
the man with the minutes.
I just said that with the lawyer.
Okay. Jerry,
There's more stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna, you met with a lawyer, we gotta go.
Still searching for a videographer.
What's, Jerry, I keep seeing these fly by, are they useless or? I mean, what's happening? They don't show up? Takes too long to recruit them?
I have reached out. I've reached out to several with no success. Yeah, um. I have met with several and I just didn't feel the confidence level was there. So I'm still at it.
Okay,
Joe, what was your experience? I know that you recruited people from Fitchburg State College. What was your experience with that?
I
Were
did-
they able to do both, you know, go to school and cover some meetings, or did it not work out well, or?
I didn't really recruit from Fitchburg State. We had students who had worked with us from the high school that went on to Fitchburg
Oh,
State
okay.
and continued working with us.
Uh-huh,
Two videographers did that. One had a hard time juggling it.
yeah,
The other person sometimes had trouble juggling it. It's hard to get a student
yeah,
to commit to what we need,
yeah.
but not impossible. It worked for a while.
Have you reached out to some of our sister towns, to see if they have some freelancers who would be happy to take on some more work, to fill out their portfolio, so to speak?
I haven't.
Maybe we could do something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, you must be in touch with
My
like
question
Fitchburg,
is,
for
pay
example.
scale appropriate? Is the pay scale appropriate?
It's okay. I would say appropriate. You know, sometimes if a videographer comes as a candidate, like for instance, Matt Monroe was our last hire. He had a bachelor's from Drexel University, had done a lot of work. The starting pay was pretty low. So I had to present him to the personnel committee to get him on a different step.
Okay, so there's options.
There's
That's
options.
all I wanted. Thank you very much.
And so they do have steps and.
Steps,
yes,
similar to
yes.
future contract.
Yes.
and the process.
You know, if they're not super experienced and I like them and I think they would do a good job, I will start them on step one.
Mhm. Is there
Is-
anything else you could get you from us that might help you in trying to find that videographer?
I'm just gonna try to work with Julie, because she has an ad out on Handbrake.
Indeed.
Yeah, on Indeed, and there's
Oh,
one for
another one
recent
too?
college graduates called,
Oh.
I forget if it's called Handshake or Handbrake or,
No,
no, Handbrake is a editing software. I think it's called Handshake and one other place. So I just got two today. So one was unqualified, but one was, so I tried to get in touch with them.
Now, what qualifications are you looking for?
If they have a little bit of video experience,
Yeah.
they don't have to, they don't have to have too much coming in on the first level, but some have absolutely none.
Yeah. I was just wondering about, you know, in my development where I live, it's active, so-called active adults, 55 plus. And, you know, that might be a target group that
I would love that.
you probably would find more dependable, hopefully.
Yeah,
I think it's a very good idea.
yeah,
And that could be a win-win, you know.
Yeah.
because, you know. Over 55 tend to be a little more reliable, available, interested.
Yeah.
Wanting a little something to fill out.
until they reach 80, then. Excuse me?
No, watch that.
What'd you say?
You're talking about my friend over
You're
here.
talking about me.
Oh,
We're in this together, so I can say.
well, you just accepted the appointment as chair, so
Yeah.
thank you very much for that.
Well, that was what.
Okay, and the band concerts is starting, we all know that, so.
Next week.
I was asked a question about that today. Is there any way that we can telecast a cancellation?
It was sent out through all kinds of Facebook, the town sent out a thing.
But nothing on TV.
Well, by the time we do it, it's,
Yeah, by the time they make the decision, and I can't get my bulletin administrator to,
Nothing, we
To
just have.
do
a
it
bunch of
quickly.
buttons.
sometimes it's 4 o'clock.
I'll use the runner.
Yeah, but I mean.
I could probably, yeah, I could use the
Banner,
the scroll,
Scroll.
yeah, yeah, I could do that.
A lot of people watching that, yeah.
All 3 channels, or is that a lot of work?
It's not a lot of work.
I did have a question about Mass Access Conference. I'm curious if that would be the place or if there are other places to find out about contests, competitions that we can enter some of our locally produced content. And there used to be something called the Hometown Video Festival. And I know Malden used to rack up a lot of awards on years past. Have you ever come across anything like that, Joe?
I can't remember the organization, I'm drawing a blank.
Mass Access does the
Creators
something
Awards, yeah.
which I think is what Paul's talking about.
Yes. There's also the Northeast. I'll have to look it up. I can't remember off the top of my head. They have competitive programs.
And are you gonna have some from staff come to go to Mass Access Conference with you?
For their Creators Award.
No, just for the conference.
Oh, I would have Eric Foster
Mhm,
come.
mhm.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
didn't go this time, but
Oh, it's already happened. Okay.
yeah. But in the future, yeah, he'll go to the meetings.
Yeah. And his official position is
Production technician.
very good. Dan's still working.
Yep.
Good, yes. Great.
I have one other question. I know that I've seen previews of coming attractions or whatever you call it. Remember that Comcast wouldn't do for us? But
Oh, the electronic program guide.
yes, the program guide, but I know you put it up on sometimes on the bulletin board, right?
Right.
When does it come on exactly? Because my husband and I keep arguing about
It
this.
was recently taken down
Oh,
because it was interfering with the bulletins.
oh,
So I have to talk to Castus and get that back up.
okay.
So it's not running right now. Yeah, which reminds me.
When will it, though, generally run on the hour or, like to know what's coming up next hour or the next few hours?
It doesn't come up on the hour because of programming,
Yeah,
but it comes up when the bulletins are playing.
okay,
So when there's a break in a programming segment, then it'll play the bulletins and then lastly, it'll play the coming up next.
okay.
Yeah, just as a for instance, I see that you have a show on the Beatles. I'd love to see that, but when is it on?
That was on and is gone.
Oh,
Hmm,
That, yeah, in fact, it should be, did you see it in the list?
I just saw it on the list. I
Yeah,
hadn't seen it.
it was
before.
on for 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I know that Pittsburgh Access every week posts in the Sentinel their basic schedule.
Mhm.
Would they be willing to post movies?
In the Sentinel, I could
Uh,
find out. I know the,
Enterprise.
Well, it's just I see it and I go, oh, yeah, but I don't have Pittsburgh Access.
how
so,
much space do they take?
It's generally about half a page,
They may
half
to
a
pay-
piece of paper on this side.
Okay,
They may
well,
have to pay for that, right?
I don't know.
I
I
could
saw
find
that
out.
you
if
had
it-
some communications with the ledger. is that something that they asked you money for?
The Ledger offered us some free space, but it was like this
They
much.
understand.
Yeah,
Well, I would say the ledger, but I think they have issues with,
They give you the house, sweet space.
but I don't know. Sentinel,
Sure.
every week
Sure.
We're checking out, yeah.
I mean, and if they're willing to do it, just send it in. They do Fitchburg on, say, Saturday, and do Bloomberg on Monday or
it
whatever.
would be nice to have a model.
Why would we put it on in Pittsburgh, seeing they can't see our programming?
Because a lot of people it depends on how many people in Bloomberg get the Sentinel. I get the digital Sentinel.
We get it. We get it at home.
Oh, there
It's got better local coverage than the
Worcester.
Telegram.
Yeah,
Okay.
You
No,
know,
that's what
obituaries, what's going on, and all that.
It's all online.
I do it
Oh,
online.
yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, and plus, hard copy newspaper with that. What's a Boston Globe subscription cost? That's a
Search.
So we multiply that times, obviously it was just. So. In the Sunday,
And you have to pay for online too.
yeah, but it's not the same.
it would be interesting to see what format Fitchburg uses, because, maybe they have less programs, or if they have more programs, how they organize that. Coming attractions, because you've done it here on the spreadsheet, some of the, programs that we do, and it took like a page and a half, so that would be. I know you don't do all of them every day, but still, I think it would be a difficult thing so I'd be interested to see how Fitchburg does it.
Yeah,
Do we have any kind of
I
an
can-
advertising budget?
Yes,
Small.
it's small. I'll talk to Ann over at FATV. She would manage that sort of thing.
I would have to log in on that. It looks something, see that underneath the green thing?
Yeah,
It's something like that shows up. I was trying to see where.
So you'll look into that a little, Joe?
Sure.
please? Thank you very much.
I'm
And I
all,
just,
I'll tell my husband you're looking into it, so he'll stop complaining.
Usually it's a good half-inch headline, says Pittsburgh Access Television listings. So it's probably on the TV page.
I just add one thing to Joe's report. You report interest. And because of our financial investment situation, that process is potentially going to change. So I emailed Mylene, is that what- did I
it
get
is,
right?
it is.
Before I went on vacation. And got an automated empty email back. What I've asked her, just so we're all on the same page, is two things. One, has the money been transferred to Bartholomew? And I got an answer from the assistant treasurer today, that it was transferred on 22nd June, I believe. And the other question is, and do we get a monthly report of what's going on? And I don't have an answer on. She's still out.
She's in the Philippines, so she's on an extended vacation.
Well, I was told she'd be back.
I know where she got the money.
Oh.
Oh. So we give her 720,000 and she goes to the Philippines.
Where else would you go?
Cayman Islands, they have much better rates.
Well, if you,
I'm hoping.
Want to
they'll
look on
respond
the-
to me.
and on the report, our interest has gone up from averages around $650 a month. And in April, it went up to $22.48. In May, it went up to $22.80. And June, they didn't post yet.
When you say 22.80, you mean $22.80.
No.
22,180.
$284.
So it
But I don't
clearly,
know if that's coming from Bartholomew or just the fact that interest rates are rising in money market accounts. I don't know. I want the treasurer to let us know exactly what's going on a regular basis. That's what I
Okay,
So I left an email with her twice and left a note with the assistant treasurer today. And I was in there swearing at the town clerk.
Excuse me?
Swearing in,
I'll show you.
yeah, I
So,
think you
What
left it
that
out.
may cause is a minor impact to the way your spreadsheet looks once we got that right.
okay,
Just as a heads up.
so what you want from her are reports from Bartholomew.
That's what I've already asked for these, yeah.
Okay, so just follow up on that.
Well, I'll follow up. 'cause
Oh,
she's
okay.
got me. I just wanted the committee to know.
Okay.
That's what was done, given that I was chartered with doing all the rest of it. Okay,
And you did a human's job.
we'll find out if there ever was any money. So, yeah, there should be an agenda.
Well, now it's the enterprise fund status, but you kind of just did that.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't even notice. Thank you for putting that there, Steve. That
You asked me to. Actually, you were there from the last meeting.
was exactly the right thing to do. I
Should
think.
Steve put it on the agenda for the next meeting?
I think that would be an excellent time.
For the next meeting, I think we can take off the Pacc staff use of personal equipment policy update.
So the mass access conference, we also talked about. It's the 501c. Yeah, the Pacc staff use, well, Joe's going to try and find a generic waiver.
All right, so we should keep that.
Okay, okay.
On the next meeting. Now we are freshly formed. It's a good time if we want to do something that Pete's been waiting for.
We have this one booked for August 14th.
Yeah.
I pre-booked it.
Yeah.
Because
What I'm offering,
I didn't want it to get,
taken
Used
by
by
someone
someone
else.
else.
Yeah,
what I'm
smart.
inviting Pete to do is to make his point. That if we can possibly have it the same day, same time, same place, every month.
For a year. That would be nice.
Can I get a refresher on
yours.
why we're going to August 14th? Sorry, did I?
because it was the second group.
Okay.
Yeah,
We've been going
we
the
had
second
asked For the
Oh, so
second.
this
week.
is
Um,
trying to be
and
consistent.
Why did we change it?
Well, we changed it because of the Lunenburg municipal.
Oh, I know why we did it for August,
Building
it's
design.
because if we didn't have a rain date, I was available. Now we have a rain date and I have a concert on that.
So
I think that was the
Any reason why we
big.
can't go back the first week? Because it's been for years.
Well, and then I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go on with you. If we make it the second week of every month all year, we avoid all the Monday holidays.
Yeah,
And it always,
there are no Monday holidays on
On
the
the
second
second.
week.
no, they're the first.
They're
and
the
third.
Trivia question.
Yeah,
I mean, if you want it to be consistent. What happens, we have,
New Year's,
well, not. Sometimes that, but it's President's Day, it's the other Monday holiday,
I don't mean the grass season.
Memorial Day, no, that's not the first Monday.
Okay.
I was just trying to think, it's President's Day.
Labor Day.
Well, anytime that happens, we already have that set up, like if it was a snow day, you skip to the following Monday.
Yeah.
Always, well, that's fine, that's the way we work it.
But I was just gonna say, the second one avoids all Monday holidays no matter what. So that's why I was offering that as a suggestion. I will,
Just personally have a meeting, a long meeting tomorrow morning too. So we're always,
up for you.
well, not tough.
because September 4th would be the Monday after Labor Day. Would be Labor Day, that's the other Monday, I knew there was another Monday,
Yeah.
September 4th is.
Memorial
Labor
Day
Day.
is Monday.
Memorial Day is Monday. Right,
Well, it's a
I was
lot.
just trying to, October 2nd is not a holiday. November
Well,
6th,
you,
not veterans,
Pete,
Oh,
if
we
you
have
care
voting
to-
sometime. No, that's Tuesdays always.
January 1st is, well, next year, the first Monday is New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. So we have to move that one.
Yeah.
Mr.
Well, why
Lincoln, would
I-
you care to make the case that you've been trying
Well,
this?
apparently I've been. on
No,
case.
No, I'm just,
Give you the
We're
table.
talking.
Yeah,
you would like to have it the same time all the time, and I just was saying, one of the problems with the first Monday
Yes.
is. We have several Mondays that we have to move, I understand the snow day, snow
Yeah.
days, everyone understands it. It rains, you have to move, you know, and stuff. But I was just saying, if you want it to be the first of every Monday, there's already
Yeah, but
several that are, we'd have to move.
And the third also has several holidays, but we could avoid it all by not doing it on Mondays.
Right, what's wrong with Tuesdays? Is that's the day you have
That's the
your,
day it's packed,
Right. I mean, you can do the first
One or the
Monday,
other.
you can do the first Monday, it doesn't matter.
First
to me.
Monday, like,
But-
but doesn't necessarily interview with
That,
Thanksgiving.
it is Labor Day.
Or Christmas, or New Year's,
No, this, next year it's gonna be.
this year's, but not usually.
No.
Labor
is-
Day.
This, next year is Labor Day too. Next year, there's a lot of Monday holidays. But that's, I had looked up. I'm not saying that.
Well, I know the
I can
person
make the
that
one.
has the most. Steve, you're the one that, I know you do things with your church, you're on your church board, and there were reasons why Monday was the best. But is there any other day besides Monday that you would be available?
The only day I believe I've ever said that I can't do on a regular basis is Tuesday.
Tuesday,
I
okay.
haven't said any other days. I'm actually trying to give the floor
Thursdays.
to
Well,
Mr.
what would you
Lincoln.
suggest?
Well,
Pete?
I'd like to leave the way it was, the first Monday in every month, then when we can't meet.
I
that
have,
because of
not a problem,
anything,
but I'm gonna
chunk-
book,
chunk till the next.
I'm gonna
next
book the
Monday.
year for here.
No.
But every holiday I have to book the
I
second
know.
holiday.
Yeah.
That's-
as
that's
long as you're
annoying.
okay
Why
with
does it
that.
have to be Monday,
Well, I'm not available Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday.
okay. Then that-
We-
Okay.
Nobody meets on Friday.
And
Right.
are we also planning to meet here?
Oh, that's true.
Yes,
Oh, by the way,
but
they're fixing all the lights. In the patio's doorway.
oh, great.
Within the next couple of weeks, they'll all be brand new light bulbs and it'll be
Great.
nice and bright.
Great, because I had, but I'm taking pictures of these guys.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I talked to the superintendent and she got in touch with the town DPW guy. Right,
We have
you know
one?
the town.
Yeah, Chris,
And, cause she says it's a safety issue for the school department, because they have a lot of people that come in.
Excellent.
So they said they would take care of it. So, I mean, it may take a couple of weeks, but
I'll put two options on the table, or maybe three. One is the winter time we meet here. And the summertime we meet Passios.
Oh, it's
Another
hot as
one?
Hades
no,
there.
here's the next one.
new air conditioner.
The other one is we only meet in Passios. And the third of my two suggestions is we only meet here.
Only need
So
here.
We need baskets,
Why
because
Patsios?
that's where our home is.
Oh, schmo.
And we don't have to reserve.
But
Yeah.
that's not the
Well, I
point. We have
disagree
a
with you,
nice
Dave. That's my
table.
opinion.
and a-
That's your
okay.
opinion, okay?
I would suggest that we meet here because it's safer for me. I have mobility problems. My husband usually drives me places and he can sit in the lovely library that we have and wait for me. And it's very conducive for discussion and the temperature is usually well maintained and we don't have asbestos in the room. So those are my reasons.
aside from that, do you have an opinion?
Oh, I noticed today, I didn't report it, but
Do they,
one of the ceiling panels fell down from our ceiling with all this rain.
Hmm. Not a good
you
sign.
have a trash bucket underneath it yet?
Not when we film.
Not what we found, yeah. Yeah, I have to report it to the DPW. I noticed it.
Steve, you're about to make a comment.
Yeah, I am gonna book the first Monday. Or the second, depending on the holiday. And if we don't use it, I can just cancel.
For this room,
I'm gonna
for an
book the room.
entire 12 months through
I think they'll
June,
let me do 12. I think it's
June of
10.
next year.
I think they let you do 10. But I'll try to do,
Talk to them nicely. will you?
no, it's all online. It's all online.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you have to enter the information for each one separately. You know, no, you don't, you know what that's like. No. I'll just book this place and then you can decide. Are we coming here on the 7th or the 14th is what I need.
Well, you've already booked the 14th for
I have booked the
August,
14th.
and
I
it may,
move
the
it.
7th may not be available. I don't-
I can check, it probably will be, but. It's up to you, Steve.
Well, at the moment, I'm still trying to find out, are we
Well, that would be
sufficient,
cool, too. Yeah.
are we sufficiently in agreement? That we're not meeting at the studio or meeting at the studio,
Well, then
For
you
6
need a
months,
motion.
12 months,
Take a
and-
vote.
Okay, I'll make
It's
a motion that we meet here at the library in the, however you spell this room. On the
Right,
first,
library.
the first Monday of each month. Unless
at 6 o'clock.
the library, at 6 o'clock, unless the library is closed for a holiday or snow, at which point we will
Or floods.
hopefully meet the next week.
Feeling better now.
Well, if it's a holiday, I would just book the second one. If it's a snow day,
Yeah.
we just go to Passios. But then they're,
You
if they
can't
both
see
see,
into the future.
that would be her motion. Does someone want to second that?
Mr.
Oh, okay.
Give me an opportunity.
Now
to
is
invite Mr.
discussion.
Lincoln.
Now you can
Yes,
discuss.
I was actually going to invite Pete to second. So, we kind of- I'm just offering it.
I think that's.
I know.
Along.
Well, I will resign if our meetings are over there because I've
Don't
been,
try to, don't try to.
no, it's
don't
just the
do that.
truth, because I'm scared of
That's-
being over there at night. I've had so many near misses.
But that was not an appropriate statement.
Why?
You
This is
said you
true.
will resign
If we
So,
meet over
that's
at,
what I understood. you to
because
say.
remember a year ago, I offered to not come back because I was scared of the Passios at night. And even getting out of my car in that muddy area with ice and everything else,
Well,
it's
right now,
just scared, it's scary,
I understand.
and so you guys said, no, we don't want you to leave the committee, we'll meet in the library where it's safer.
right now, we have a motion. All has seconded. it. We have any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? That's a majority. All those against?
Abstain.
Oh, you can do that. They rarely ask for that, but you can. You okay with that, Mr. Secretary Person?
I will allow it, but I don't think it. You can, because it is not. It's not an ethics thing. Wish you can. Okay, I put abstain, I'm not gonna. put that one.
Okay, so. The 14th, 6 o'clock.
You want the 14th? That's, I believe it's already there.
That's because it's already done.
Yeah.
In which
And I will
time-
do the first Mondays. Or second Mondays, pending holidays.
Yep.
And I'll try to spell so
Or if you would be so kind as to predict snowfall, that would be great.
Oh, geez.
I think it's gonna be a lot of snowball because of,
don't.
with the, no, but with the El Nino.
I move to adjourn.
Yeah.
No discussion, all those in favor? Kill the record, thank you so much. And thank you all for